We've been talking all offseason about the 49ers quarterbacks, but really, this is the team where quarterback matters the least. Like, the quarterback is the final piece, and they can't, or they haven't been able to find the right one, but they're a team defined by effort and violence and physicality, right? They're the team that when you play the 49ers, you might beat them, but the next week you're going to lose, right? The next week you always lose after playing the Niners because you're so beat up, they're so violent, it's such a grind going against the 49ers. And to a degree, it's the whole team. You know, the Niners like to run the ball. They're a physical team on both sides of the ball. But let's be honest, that's the defense. It's been the defense the last 4 years. Every single week, you can count on that defense showing up and playing hard, all 11 guys plus the backups. Every week. The offense, you know, Debo's tough to tackle when he gets the ball. George Kittle, at this point of his career, isn't exactly as tough to tackle as he was 5 years ago, but he still cranks it up for big games. Like, they have their moments, but it's not tackling Christian McCaffrey 20 times a game that wears you out. He's not that big. It's not the offense, really, that wears you out. It's that freaking defense. It's the fact that every single play, they get all 11 players in the frame hitting you. It's not just one guy hitting you, it's all 11 guys. And that's been coordinated by two distinct coordinators. Robert Saleh, D'Amico Ryans, two guys on the field, big linebacker-looking dudes who literally can't stay off the field, have to be held back. They're so energetic and upbeat. Really the opposite of Kyle Shanahan, who when he was a coordinator was up in the booth, and on the sideline he's sort of like lost in his play sheet. He's very much in his head, while D'Amico and Robert Saleh were like motivators. And I think their personality was the personality of the team. The defense led the team. That was the personality. Very not doing a lot. You know, they have a lot of great players. Let's just play with passion and energy and do the few things that we do well. That was the mentality. It worked. Now they're gone, and the coordinator is Steve Wilks, who extremely respected. He's been a coordinator 4 times. His defense ranked in the top 20 once. And he's going to be in the booth, which is fine. I mean, maybe I would like to be in the booth. I think I would prefer to be in the booth if I were a coordinator. That way you could see everything. You feel like you could make a more calm, level-headed decision on what the next play is going to be. But Kyle Shanahan, this team, I feel like a good counterpoint to Kyle is the Robert Saleh, D'Amico Ryans guy who's, you know, upbeat and on the sideline and sort of creating that energy for the team. Because Kyle's not going to create it. Steve Wilks isn't going to create it in the booth. So now who's going to create that energy? It's got to be the players. And maybe they will. But wasn't it a little disconcerting, that preseason game against the Raiders? Like, the Niners had no passion at all. It was just a preseason game. Just a preseason game. Don't get me wrong. But they had no passion. Like, used to be that was like the whole team playing hard. But they didn't do that in the joint practices against the Raiders. They didn't do it in the preseason game against the Raiders. I'm looking for effort from this freaking team. Don't just show up week 1 and try to turn it on. Be that same violent defense, because you've been that for 4 years in a row, and it's tough to keep that going. At some point, the effort's not going to be the same. And maybe with a new coordinator who's detached in the booth, maybe he won't be there anymore. That's something to watch. I know we're focused on the quarterback thing, but like, what if the defensive effort isn't the same this year? That'd be a major problem. So Steve Wilks has a lot to prove. Let's see what he does.